In a binary common world, as all they know, that many die and everything happens as you know it. Now that some seems superior to it. Let us say where, like in the movies, it is a fact where the senses are not in fact. Those that have to arrive to that because the testimony that they could to give up the certain thing of what to justify them that it is necessary to die. It is the same thing when the facts arise of those that say but we will have something good to show us, so that for that reason let us be entitled or to go to the paradise or not. To the bad, good things happens that way the demands of the sample rather than to know the opposite is given that the track of content of the narrow thing of the extreme thing will be the part transported of the time for where it can. That good thing that you have to stand out or to show, it will be made to yourselves because it will not be the other civilization, those that will have to be convinced of it, are in this for where the colonies speak and where this type of courtesy expresses its knowledge. This type of courtesy, yes, it is really the death, but the death of that it believes or knows that it is mortal traffic in the process because to desolate or to clean a certain air, it is not enough the fumigation of the places or finding everything that had decided that it should no longer exist. The good one news, or like it will be said, the good news to those to aware will be those that, well, they could be shown by you by the net, but before you will have to have samples that already nobody is aggressive with you. It is as to say that will no longer receive but comments on your work from people, but rather everything will be sincere, that not alone expression, the American you, what you have to make, but rather the good ones knew they will come from the public, that it is the best measure of colony propaganda. In other ways of lives, it is an teaching the same inclination of the native, how it is that they are the forms of lives, it is same fast. A virtual or emotional fast is that for where this type of courtesy not even needs to have to be. People to judge or to executioners, no matter how much they are very prepared, it's member for everything. It is not that all are, like it would be said, bundles of beaten of hands that certain emotions not change its emotions, but where powers of faith can be exercised so that it never exists, but that faith. And that for any crack or pegs, it can work better everything. They will understand that it's not enough with fasting, saying that they make it, but rather one has the time more than enough to make it, for they should not feel. It's an extraterrestrial massive attack because if in the movies they happen, that doesn't mean that it has enough it, and that this won't happen in the binary reality. It is more until it will be necessary that it happens. It will be as calling from conscious way to this type of courtesies, and that of they are it all aware that certain stages won't be obviated or not having support of power accounts. It is better to be prepared. Any preferential or exclusive reason doesn't exist that it exempts them or liberate or having to feel or do the same thing that feel the chicken or the cows when they go to the slaughterhouse, because otherwise it will be as to say that you are special and those civilizations are not it. And although this of being special, you not alone can believe it, but until being it in a quantum fast inside this type of courtesies, you won't be able to escape to it. Not alone it is logical and deserved, but rather it has to be it. It is part of the same rights of the colonies and the civilization. Otherwise, you cannot justify a system in some place. Other facts where certain scientific consent says that if there is not water, oxygen, or that is needed to live is not life. Neither it is considered life. It's in the conscience, sometimes fast for always, because you had to be considered of life as the same initiator of the supposed Satan safe against the life. It is so it doesn't care how much it sends you or threatens to die. In fact, never you will understand it. This courtesy doesn't need to look for its objectives or its targets to attack them, and this way to complete this courtesy so alone exercises the patience of knowing that all come to its own death in a natural way. But not all define it like to be or not to be. Many return to where it is that they call life. So of this the death can boast neither of these courtesy that it's stop for it to say that the death comes with discourses. Let us say until the life of the dead, but are slaves of its own fast. At least while its tendency lasts in one anything explosive without how many so inside these memoirs. One can deduce everything but can translate that everything. Discourses is of the quantum fast. So even all the human, one can study it, knowing that no longer dies nevermore. That is not because then to fear for the other ones would not enter in this, that of the concern for what will pass to the other ones in a bad fact, because that same will make that for not wearing you for what passed yourself in this quadrant, whereas it is what passes to the other ones until much worse what was for you waiting, like a form of credit guarantee. That is to say, you have much more value for the value of the Scottish because you study and they know the details about the drifted or what will be. As for the cars or to the anger, so that the things can be made or so that it can accept them, who needs that for accept or to make it? It is because it has always needed. So the more certain position are this position, the anger for what has not been possible to overcome, is the measure that you have to know that this Scottish type is what values or it measures, but it doesn't stop to that you. Not in the case of digit, but even everything that makes to the brackets. For that reason it is that being what you cannot hire as a professionalism to overcome weaknesses. The weak ones are not able to. They should not have access to the light because immediately or in some occasion they will open the way to the dead. And this will be fatal to break a concept for where other the Scottish type they are devoted to take care of those details. So as for the study all on time in enough, it's end up being enough when everything is part of that functionality of characters for where no some already influences to the subtraction. Everything is to add and to add. That is not to add.